Hello, this is Dr. Goodin. I'll be talking about the population and sample in Chapter 3, specifically this task to describe the population, including the estimated size and relevant characteristics. So the population involves everyone that your study might generalize to. Of course, in a qualitative study, we're going to sort of realize that we might not necessarily generalize to all these people because of our small sample size, some of the anecdotal, qualitative aspects of the data. And so we want to focus on really another way to think about the population instead of who you can generalize to, which works for quantitative data. For the population, just think of who are the people that your sample is meant to represent. Of course, in a qualitative study, might not be able to be transferable to that population. But who is it meant to represent? From what group of people will your sample be obtained or recruited? So this might be overall. A study could have will be World War II veterans who reside in the United States. Something like that. And then I'm just going to make up some statistics. There are currently and pardon me for being wrong about this, 2.8 million living World War II veterans in the United States. Over 60%, or let's say 90% of the population is aged 65 or older. Anything that's sort of interesting or crucial to your study, estimated size, which we're doing, relevant characteristics, only 3%, I'm making this up, so you'd want citations, only 3% are active in the workforce. Of that 3%, only 0.5% remains active in military workplaces. And so depending on what your study, if it was like a study about sort of healthcare, veterans or these generally require over twice the amount of doctor's visits as non-military as citizens. I'm just again making this information up, which means they require approximately 20 times the amount of doctor's visits as the average citizen. They generally have their healthcare needs met at a Veterans Administration. So you'd want citations for all of this information that I've made up. So describe the population, which we did. We're going to give an estimate. We want citations for every piece of information. So we're trying to sort of say, here's how many people we could pull our sample from. Here's sort of an age-related thing, which could be important. If they're older, we might have some consent issues. If they have some dementia or some cognitive impairment, only 3% are active in the workforce. That may or may not be relevant. Of that 3%, so this could be, of that 3%, only 0.5% remains active in military workplaces. World War II veterans generally require over twice the amount of doctor's visits as non-military citizens of the same age, which means they require approximately 20 times the amount of doctor's visits as the average citizen. So you're sort of, depending on what kind of study you're doing, you might share a little bit different information. But generally you want to hit some of the sort of demographic issues, some of the statistics that will introduce the population to your reader. And so we'll pick up next with how the population aligns with the problem, purpose, and research questions. I'll see you there shortly.